Hello and welcome to more of my trading stuff. In this video we're going to be looking at how we optimize Bob. As lots of you know, Phil runs all of the optimizations for our trading group, so I thought it'd be better if I hand over to him.
Okay, so we're just going to take a quick look at covering basic optimization for the new bot Bob. The first thing we want to do is choose the currency pair. Now I'm going to choose, there's already a trade open here, so I'm going to choose Euro Yen. I'll then adjust this chart to make it a sensible size. There we are, that's more readable. And I'm going to turn on my trade watch because I'm going to need that. I'm then going to select the optimization tab, and the first thing I do is select auto select best pass. That way we'll see in the results as the bot's running the best pass that it's achieved so far. So there are basically three parts to optimization. The first thing we do is set up our parameters here that we want to optimize. This next thing we do is then run the actual optimization and have a brief look at the results. When we're happy with those, we apply those results and run a back test. And then I guess there's a fourth part really where you would actually review the results. But just to recap, set up our optimization parameters. We then run the optimization and have a look at the results, make sure it's worked okay. And then when we're happy with those, we apply those results and run a back test. So let's start that process now by setting up our optimization parameters. Here I've chosen Euro Yen. First thing I'm going to do as part of setting up the optimization parameters is set my starting capital to 1,000. That gives you, if you're trading at 0.1 of a lot, that will give you sensible numbers in your results. If you trade with a super high account level, you'll end up with tiny drawdown figures that will make things look much better than they really are. So when you're trading at 0.1 of a lot, which I use for backtesting, I tend to set my starting capital to 1,000. Commission is by default is set to 30 per million. That's correct for IC markets, and we're going to trade, going to set the test on M1 bars. Using M1 bars rather than tick data will give us a much faster result that we just need to backtest on tick data to be sure that it's accurate. But in general, for this bot, M1 bars work fine for optimization. Next thing we do in the actual cBot parameters, we set up instance as 1, so leave that unticked. We tick H1 candle open time and pips from high to low. Now H1 candle open time is the time of the day that the bot is going to optimize between. So I set mine to start at 5 in the morning through to 6 at night, simply for the reason I don't want it to choose a candle at 2 or 3 in the morning when I'm not going to be around to manage the trade just after it's opened. Remember, if you set 5 here, it's the close of the 5 o'clock candle, so you won't see a trade placed until at least 6 o'clock earliest, and possibly much later. Pips from high I normally set from 0 to 20, both of these in steps of 1. Quantity lots I fix at 0.1 lots, and I untick use percent risk and untick stop loss. You can't really optimize these values. ATR time frame leave set to D1 daily. ATR periods, this is the number of days that the ATR is going to be calculated over. So normally it comes out about 12, 13, 14, so to give it enough range I set it from 5 to 20 in steps of 1. Take buy trades and take sell trades, I set them both to yes, so untick them and set them to yes. Buy stop and buy limit, this is the multiplier of the ATR we're setting this to, so we're saying our buy stop minimum will be 0.2 of the daily ATR and maximum will be 1 times the daily ATR in steps of 0.1. Now do remember that this will vary from currency to currency, so you are going to need to be aware of your daily ATR when setting up these parameters. Okay, so let's look at Euro Yen where the ATR is 84. the bot will optimize between 0.2 and 1 of the ATR in steps of 0.1. So our maximum stop or limit will be 1 times 84, which is 84 pips, and our minimum stop or limit will be 0.2 times 84, which is 16.8 pips. It will optimize in steps of 0.1 of the ATR, so that means it will optimize in steps of 8.4 pips. Ideally, it should have a step size of approximately 1 pip, so really for Euro-Yen we should optimize in the step size of 0.01, giving us a step size of 0.84 pips, being just under a pip. The rest of the parameters here, remove all of the ticks from here. You don't need any of those set. The next part is the optimization criteria. I leave set as standard. That'll give you this profile, which works for most of the time for what we're doing. For optimization method, choose genetic algorithm. Under resources, I normally set this to about 87 or a little higher. Around 80% enables you to carry on doing other things on your machine. Much higher than that and your machine will start to get quite clunky. So when that's all set, we now just need to set our optimization date window. And I'm going to optimize 6 months from the 1st of November 2019 to the 30th of April 2020. And now we're ready to run the optimization. So here we just click on play. Now you can see here it's starting to display the results already. It's showing us elapsed time and remaining time. Depending on your machine, this remaining time will vary up and down, but it does give you an indication of how much longer it's got to take. And over here it tells you the number of passes it's taken. Most of the time, or a lot of the time, it will use all 2,500 passes that it can run. And as it's running, you can see it's displaying the equity chart here as it's building and slowly finding the best set of parameters. It's highlighting the best parameters it's found so far because we've got the tick box here ticked. If you want to see the parameters changing, select the parameters box, and each time it finds a better set of parameters, you'll see, as it just did there, it will update this field. Okay, so we can see our optimization is finished and it's highlighted the best result here and displayed in trade stats here. If for any reason when it finishes your best one isn't displayed here, it will be displayed here, but if you want to see it on this line here, which you will need later on, you can either scroll up and down here by just dragging this little button up and down, or if you can't spot it, just click anywhere, which will take the tick off of auto select, then click it again and it will reappear highlighting the best result. So the first thing we're going to do is just have a quick look at the equity chart for this set of results, and that looks a reasonable equity chart. The gold line is your balance, is your account balance, and this is your equity here. So you can see in some places, like here, we probably have multiple trades open, almost certainly, which are going against us. So in other words, what this is saying is your account balance was here, but if all your open trades closed, it would come down to here. So this grey shaded area is showing your equity. Normally the two intertwine like this. Any big spikes down or big spikes up is showing large amounts of multiple trades open, so be aware of that. But this looks okay. It's not wonderful, but it's okay. The things I tend to look at are net profit, profit factor, max balance drawdown 12%, which is quite reasonable, and also take note of the split between longs and shorts. Here we've got definitely in favour of short trades over long trades, as you can see, and that's reflected here in the difference in profit factor. Okay, so now we're ready to actually run the back test. The first thing we need to do is click auto select best pass and make sure that we've highlighted, we can see the best pass results, and then when we've done that we just need to click on apply to apply these results to our bot parameters. And when we've done that, all we need to do is click on backtesting, set our starting capital to 1030, and this time we're going to use tick data for backtesting. Always use tick data for backtesting. The next thing we need to do is just to check that our date window is the same as our optimization window. So from the 1st of November, which it is, to the 30th of April 2020, which it is. So to run the backtest now, all we need to do is click play. And you can see as this goes across the screen, it's slowly running the backtest day by day. You can see what it's actually doing here, and you can see our equity chart slowly building. The result of the backtest will normally be similar to the result of the optimization. It may vary up or down, but it shouldn't, hopefully won't dramatically vary, but it will be an accurate result of what would have happened if you had run that strategy over this period. Okay, so now just a quick look at trade statistics. We're showing a net profit of 2152 and a balanced drawdown of around 12%, which isn't too bad. I will be doing more videos to show you how to interpret these results further, but hopefully what you've seen today will be enough to get you started. Thank you for watching.
Well, thank you, Phil, for explaining all of that to us. Hopefully everyone's found it useful. If you want to see when we release new videos, click on subscribe and then click on the little bell icon. You'll be notified each time a new one is released. And click on the little thumbs up to give us a like. Any comments, you can leave them below, or contact us via our WhatsApp trading group if you want to ask any specific questions. Thank you for watching.